Hello there, welcome to my humble little channel. My name is Adam We Are Now. I want to talk about the concept of manifestation. What is manifestation? Manifestation is like the law of attraction, right? That's an example of manifestation. When you, apparently, right, this is what the books that I've read about say, when you have a thought and you believe in it and you persist in that thinking and you tell yourself that you already have your desire, it will come to life. Now, I first discovered the concept of manifestation when I was 17, so about 4 years ago. I read this book called The Secret. Now, the way this book came into my life was very strange. It actually fell off a bookshelf right in front of my mother, and it just happened to happen at the time when I started to get into reading books. So it was actually the first book I ever read from start to finish, so it was the first book that I properly read. Now, The Secret, written by I can't remember her name, Rona something, I think, I can't remember. The book basically makes manifestation seem effortless, like you can make anything happen just by thinking about it and believing in it. And I believed this, right? When I read this book, I believed it, and I was trying to manifest things rapidly. I was telling myself I'm strong, I'm rich, I'm smart, I'm disciplined, I'm so powerful, right? I was trying to manifest these sort of selfish desires into my existence. Well, I don't want to say selfish, because if I were to become, rich and powerful, I would do my best to do good with that power. But anyway, I read this book and it made me delusional. It made me a bit loopy. I was telling everyone about it and they were like, Adam, what? You can't just bring things into existence by thinking about it. And they were right, yeah. It took me a little while to get out of that delusion, and I actually made a video talking about The Secret and why you shouldn't read it, because it's a load of nonsense. But now that I've gotten to this stage of my life, I'm starting to almost believe in manifestation, I think. Now, I'm not rich, I'm not strong, I was going to say I'm not smart, but what does it mean to be smart? How do you measure smartness? You don't just take an IQ test and then you're excuse my language, then you're Stephen Hawking, right? That's not how it works. So the concept of intelligence is a whole thing on itself that I'm not going to get into, but my point is, I'm none of these things. I'm pretty normal, I guess you could say. But if manifestation is real, which I don't know if it is yet, because like I said, I'm none of the things that I've been telling myself, I think it is real, but it takes time, right? You have to sort of imagine planting a seed, right? And you start watering it, and you just have to trust that it's going to grow. There's no point in digging it up constantly to see if the roots have sprouted. You water the seed and trust that it's going to grow. Manifestation, from my understanding, works the same. You set an intention, you put work in, you really believe that you can be this person. You have to be a little bit delusional, I believe, because I'm a little bit delusional, but in a healthy way. I tell myself that I'm this powerful, conscious creator of reality, and I'm going to be rich one day, I'm going to be powerful, so I'm a little bit delusional about it, but I think that's what makes it work, because as long as you don't let those delusions make you go insane, which is what happened to me, because I literally believed I was God the Father Almighty, and it took for me to believe in I was God to believe in God, but I won't get into that. So, how do you actually manifest? Well, I believe, like I said, right, I don't know if it's real, I'm yet to discover that, but if it is real, you have to do shadow work, you have to heal your traumas, your anger, your frustration, your depression. You have to do some shadow work and sort of heal your inner child, and once you've done that, you can start to make changes in your life. You could start training, start playing an instrument, start building a business. For me, that's trading, stock market trading. And if you continue to forcefully shape your thoughts to be in your favor, tell yourself you're rich, tell yourself you're going to be powerful, tell yourself all these great things about yourself. Just don't get too attached to them. Simply set the intention and carry it with you throughout the day. You have to sort of change your identity to someone who is rich, someone who is strong, by going to the gym, by starting a business or working more. You have to put in the effort. You have to meet God halfway there. So the concept of manifestation is a weird one, but I do think it is real. But it just takes some time. It takes years for it all to come to fruition. But yeah, that's just what I think. If I do become what I tell myself I already am, I will share that with you. And I'll tell you if manifestation is real or not. Because thoughts are powerful things. I do believe we have the ability to bend reality, because we do live in a dream that has simulation qualities, but I won't talk about that in this video. But yeah, if you want to learn about manifestation, you don't really have to, there's not really much to learn, to be honest. You just have to change your thinking. Tell yourself what you want to become and live as if you already were. Now that doesn't mean tell yourself you're rich and start giving all your money away, but if you do have a little bit of money, I just stood in a big wet muddy puddle, my socks are wet, that's annoying. Disperse your wealth, don't hoard it to yourself, because the universe will reward you for that, for not being greedy. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, go watch my other videos. That'd be nice, or don't, it's your choice. Yeah, stop getting high on YouTube, start getting high on life. May the universe guide you, which it will.